Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another YouTube Retro Repairs live video. I hope that you're all doing well. Lee is not with us tonight. Well, ever since he got his Mega 65, he's nowhere to be found. Just kidding. He has some working obligations, but well, tonight we have our guest. Tonight that you probably already know. That's Tim from Tim's Retro Corners. Hello, Tim.
Hi.
Yeah, nice to have you with us. Yeah, so let's see who has been doing what in the last couple of weeks. It's summer, it's hot. Did anyone do anything? Steve, let's start with you.
No.
No.
It's been too warm. It's been too warm to be fair. I just haven't got around to doing much. But today I did order some things off eBay, and this turned up. I don't know whether it's going to blank it out for my thing.
Oh, that's nice.
So I've got two of them to fix up. I've been out to a car boot today as well. I've got a PlayStation 4 controller. It's got drift on it, so that needs to be fixed. I've got another PlayStation controller. We want buttons that don't work. And I come across this little thing and all, and I thought I may as well try and get that.
What's that?
Can't track keep it. Bing. It's CD cleaner. You know, it's this.
I remember them things. Yeah.
It looks like an old Walkman sort of style.
Yeah,
thing.
that was it. Yeah.
Well sealed in box, £1. I'll give it a go.
Yeah, for sure. Nice.
So I might do some little videos on them. We Commodore keyboard maker as well, stuff like that in the future. But yeah, I'm going to do PS4 video as well for the controller for repairing that, showing you what's going on with that. You pull left trigger, and the analog stick goes forward too.
Wow.
For some reason, who knows? It doesn't physically go forward, but when you're playing the game, it does.
It does.
Dig in and have a look and see what's going on with that.
Yeah,
I saw me really, apart from bits and pieces.
I saw your video on the HDMI port replacement. That was nice work.
It was, and when I did that video, I did it and I held it over the desk and I held torch underneath it, and I lifted it straight off and I put it down and I cleaned it all, top and board up and everything, and then I warmed it back up again and I lifted the HDMI port up and put it on, and then I thought, hang on a minute, that was original HDMI port.
I thought you were going to say you didn't press record like I did today.
No, it was original HDMI port. So I had to warm it up again and remove the new one on. But the way that did that is when you cleaned it all up and put your leaded solder on and everything, when you warmed it up from underneath, as soon as you put it in, everything solders for you.
Wow.
Every single pin soldered, it was spot on. And it didn't touch it, and no need to touch it back up. They were absolutely rock solid. And that was the first one that I'd ever changed as well. So I've always sort of shied away from them because they're so small and a lot of pins on them. And frightened of damaging traces and stuff. But with that technique, spot on. I'll do some more.
Yeah, nice. So Neil, how about you? What you have been up to?
I've been failing on a lot of things. Nothing's working. I've tried one of these SID things for the what's it called again? Sidekick. Can't get it working on the 64. I've tried replacing the plastic cache on that board. Found loads of corrosion under the chips. So I've got loads of traces to repair on that. Other than that, I downloaded a game called Dave the Diver and I finished that. So I was addicted to that for a few days on the Steam Deck. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a very retro looking game.
No, I never seen it.
Really good. You'll enjoy it. And then another one called Graveyard Keeper I've been playing. So that's good. Yeah. So, and also with the heat as well, like I say, I don't think the heat's helping.
No, I don't. Nobody wants to sit in the room with a soldering iron, do they, when the heat?
Oh, exactly. And you got the heat going on and stuff, and it's getting hotter and hotter. And I thought, I'm just going to play some games for a bit, and that's why I've not had a video. This is the first time I've had 2 weeks no video. But I did try to do one today, but nothing worked again, which is and I did a lot of soldering and forgot to press record, as you do, so I had to resolder a lot again.
It's funny you say that, because me and our lass has been playing Lego on the Xbox 360. You know, the Pirates of the Caribbean one. So we're about halfway through that now at the moment. But yeah, we've been playing
the Lego games.
It's
like Dave the Diver. You'd like Dave the Diver.
Dave the Diver.
You'd like it, honestly, mate.
You'd be called Dave the Diver.
Check it out, Dave the Diver.
Will do. So, Tim, how about you? What you've been up to lately?
So I've been playing around with cartridge ports and interfaces and chips and
yeah, I saw your video. Yeah.
Initially, it was just to design a chip tester because I bought a batch of chips off AliExpress, and you know you're taking your life in your hands when you buy that. And so I wanted to know if they were genuine and if they worked. So I designed a sort of cartridge, basically, that you plug the chip into, and you write a program in BASIC that goes through and exercises it. And the first comment, of course, that I got was, "What a waste of time for a stupid thing that you could go and get a proper tester for." That you really need. Now,
that's not the point, is it? I mean,
yeah,
it's not the point. And the whole point is, I call the video "Stupid Cartridge Port Tricks." I mean, that should give you a bit of a clue.
Yeah, but it's really nice that we're still able to use Commodore 64 to do some proper work. That's amazing.
That's right. I mean, the whole point to me is to use a Commodore 64 to do anything except playing games. I know you guys love playing games on these things, but I'm not a gamer, and I will do anything that is not a game.
Sorry, Tim. I've just noticed you got a Mac in the corner as well. You're getting with a gang here.
Yeah, that's my next project up on the bench.
I got a stack of them. Look.
Yeah, I can't match you for quantity, but
I've been giving him grief for weeks for having Max in the background of them videos. You know what I mean? And this week we've got 2 videos with Max in the background. you know, see I'm out.
But yeah, I mean, you don't want to look at the back of it because it's like a total mess. But
that's good. It works.
It works. This cost me about 10 quid in parts, and 6 weeks of pulling my hair out. Yeah. But I learned a hell of a lot in the process of doing it. Now, if I went and bought, say, the Backbit Chip Tester Pro, that would cost me 200 quid. Yeah. And it would take 3 weeks to get here. And okay, I mean, I took longer than that building this thing, but at the end of the day, it will say passed or failed, and I won't have a clue what the hell it did. Yeah. How it tested it, whether it tested it, whether it just said, okay, 5 volts, no shorts, that's a pass.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw your software. You have all these different segments from memory and I/O pins and timers, and you test everything.
Yeah, and the chip that I was testing, which was the 6532, as used in Ataris 2600, the Atari 1050 disk drive. It's got 128 bytes of RAM. It's got a interval timer, and it's got the standard 2 I/O ports. But they all need testing individually, and they all need memory mapping and so on. I did think about building an Arduino thing using an Arduino Mega, but honestly, that would take deriving all the clocks, deriving all the read and write signals, getting the timing right for all of those, and that struck me as being a fact. So I thought, Commodore 64, it's got the bus already there.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff like, give me a game.
Give me Ghostbusters.
So these are going to be your I/O controllers, your joystick left, right, up and down. These are going to be your high score and power and whatever else. So I'm sure you could, figure out a game from it if you wanted to.
Well, sorry to interrupt you. You mentioned something in the video that I didn't know, and that is related to Commodore 64 and the VIC-2 chip, right?
Yeah.
Those times when VIC-2 chip take over, you said that it's not very tight, it's not very precise. Is there some nonsense there that's happening? I didn't know that. I thought that this was really precise timing when.
I didn't know that either, and so I went into this all naive, thinking it was going to work. There are two signals here that set up the memory address for this thing called IO1 and IO2, and they give it a 256 byte address block.
Yeah.
And I figured it was just simply a matter of hook up that to the chip select, hook up the data bus, hook up the address bus, hook up the read write, and the clock, and Bob's your uncle. And no.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
But for some things it will.
For some things, okay.
For some things it will. Some things are more tolerant than others of the way that Commodore lets go of the bus. It's I think it takes too long. Basically, it sort of eats into the back edge of the clock signal.
Okay. So it's like a VIC-2 chip has some kind of priority over the CPU or the bus. Take over the bus, it doesn't let go.
Oh, if you had it for the VIC-20, it would have been faster.
They're leveraging a feature of the 6502 that the 6502 only owns the bus for half the cycle. So clock goes high, it owns the bus. Clock goes low, it doesn't own the bus. And other things can sneak out and do things on the bus while the clock is low, and the 6502 won't mind.
Yeah. The only reason why I thought of VIC-20 is because back in the day, wasn't it, when the VIC-20 were there and they released the 1540 disk drive, it were really quick. But the 1540 disk drive won't work on a Commodore 64 because they'd done something to kernel routines and made it really slow.
Well, for certain values of really quick, i.e. still bloody slow because of the 6522 serial bug.
Wow. Nice.
So, of course, I made a PCB of that. And then I made this. I don't know if you can see this. This is a... This is like the hello world of surface mount PCBs. So it's basically it's just 8 LEDs and a bus driver.
Oh wow, nice.
And the idea is when you're building a board like this, you want 8 LEDs on a port to see whether the port's going up and down and stuff. And so you've got to stick your 8 LEDs on there. You've got to stick a 244 or a 241 or whatever it is. Bus driver on there and all your resistors and stuff, and it's a pain in the backside wiring it up. So I made this, and this is my basically first ever surface mount sort of PCB project. 0.1 inch dot pitch pin header, and you basically just stick that on 8 pins in a grid, and off you go.
Oh, nice, really nice.
So, who did your PCBs for you?
PCB way.
PCB way.
I am contractually unable to mention any other brand. The fact that you can see a blue box down there in the corner is completely irrelevant.
Nice. Okay, so for me, lately I didn't do much anything except I start to read a book. So this is a book for basic to one-liners. It's all about BASIC. The author is Holger Wessling. He's a really nice guy, and this book covers basically all different versions of BASIC from that era. So the goal of this book is to write one-liners, right? On Commodore 64, we would like to write one-liners code.
10 print and so on.
Yeah, and so on. But to reach that one-liners, you have to learn a couple of tricks, the way how to speed up your code, the way how to make it shorter and stuff like that. So there is very useful information in here. I'm really enjoying that. But also, there is one of my little programs in there. I hope that you will see this blur here. That's mine. It's a one-liner. Sorry, I cannot get it to focus.
Yeah, okay.
Sound like a Mandelbrot.
Yeah, it's not. It's just a random color worm.
You're famous.
Yeah, famous. Yeah, so I'm enjoying this for a summer read, and that's about it. Haven't done anything else much. Yeah, but I didn't read the book for a long time, especially not for basic programming language. Mostly I read some data sheets, and it's pain in the ass. So this is really, really enjoyable thing to read. Yeah, so that was all from me.
That's my summer reading.
Oh, come on. TTM. Wow.
My internet went down one day, and I couldn't look up the data sheet online, so I figured.
So what's going to happen there is he's going to get PDF version of it and get AI to read it out to you.
Exactly.
You can ask AI to give you like summary of something. Yeah. That's really useful, actually. Yeah. So what else has been happening in retro scene lately? Nothing?
Not much.
In the what, sorry?
Taking a bit of sun and a bit of chilling out and a bit of time for self for a while. So I've not been doing a great deal. Like I said, I just showed you them other bits and pieces that I'll be doing in future. I've been on a few more RGH Xbox 360s and played around with them a little bit.
Nice.
That's been about it, really, for me. I've not been doing a great deal.
Yeah.
What have you been doing, Neil? What have you been failing at?
I've been failing lots of stuff, like I said. Nothing's working.
Come on, your MS-DOS installation went perfect.
Exactly, that went pear-shaped. There you go. That just proves it.
I saw that. That was painful. Oh my god.
It was, but I got there in the end and it worked, and it ran doing rather slowly, but it wasn't Wolfenstein, okay. But which is then I thought I replaced the cache because it had those plastic cache chips on it, which came off like this. You see them?
Oh wow.
You just like melted.
Wow.
For what it cost to make them, how much did it cost them to make these plastic chips with legs?
What happened to that chip?
It's not a chip, it's plastic. Honestly, for what it cost them to make those chips, you could have put sockets in and made it a lot easier. But I think at the time, memory chips were expensive, so PC chips, in all their wisdom, decided to make fake cache. That's what it is. It's fake cache. So you look at it, it looks like it's got cache on there, but all they are is plastic chips with legs soldered on the board.
Wow.
And I thought, why?
I didn't know they did that.
Honestly, it existed on 486 boards when the memory prices went up. BT Chips said, we're going to make plastic chips and stick them in place.
Wow.
So,
that's crazy.
I'm sure it would have been cheaper to put sockets in and not put any cache in. Because at least then the person in the future, like now, could upgrade it easily.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I bought a load of sockets to socket it up, but I found it had corroded underneath, and there's quite a few traces broke, and they're quite small traces on the 486 board.
Yeah.
So I've been pulling, you know, your gauze, your wick, soda wick.
Yeah.
I've been pulling strands out of that and using them to repair the traces.
Wow.
I've got about 4 to go, and then I'm gonna put sockets on, and then hopefully it'll work. So
Yeah. Oh my
I
god.
prefer the Spectrum traces and the Commodore. The ones you can see without a microscope.
Exactly. I like
The ones
those too.
yeah, the ones you can bridge with like a freebie 2.
Yeah. You think you've got a rock solid hand, don't you? Like, and you go under the microscope and you're like that.
Exactly, yeah. And you hit the microscope a little bit, it goes.
Yeah.
Because you have to have it on so much zoom. Yeah. It is. It's just crazy. It's just the way the world's gone. Did anybody see the Project X remake?
No.
No? Have you seen it, Steve? I sort of stuck it on front of my video.
Yes,
Who's you not
I think
watched
I did.
it?
No, I have seen your video, and I know, that's why I'm thinking like that. Have I seen it?
Yeah, there's a Project X remake come out for PC, which is very good, actually. It is very, well, you've seen it, it's very like Project X. Even down to the music and stuff. I don't know how he's got down to it.
That was a great game with Project X on it.
Exactly, it's very hard.
Yeah.
I mean, they fetched out the SC edition, didn't they? It was easier, which was good. And also, obviously, there's that guy who's doing Dune 2 for the AGA Amiga.
Have you heard any more on that?
He's still working on it. He's done quite a few more. He did say he'll come on the live stream eventually, which is good. Once he's got a bit more done on it, which will be a good person to speak to, because he was one of the original developers on Dune 2. It'll be quite interesting to hear all his stories of what went on and stuff.
Nice.
This should be good. Yeah. Other than that, apart from Captain Commodore's, is it C60 Mega 65? I keep calling it C65. Yeah, that's why he's not here today, isn't it? Because he's playing on that.
Don't blame him, to be fair.
It's a nice looking machine.
It's
just not in my price range.
No, neither is the original Commodore 65.
You know what I mean?
23 grand they go for on eBay, the original, the prototype Commodore 65.
So what does the prototype one compare to Lee's? What's the difference? Is Lee's like FPGA?
I think so. I think so, kind of like that, but it's obviously on a big motherboard.
So it's a simulation of a Mega 65, would have been.
Quite possibly, yeah. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, because I looked at the price and I went off the page.
Yeah. About 660 euros or something.
Something like that it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I still want one of these Ultimate carts too. Because you keep telling me to get one of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they're definitely worth it.
Without a doubt. You've got everything you can possibly want. Anything you can think that you want to do with that Commodore 64, that cartridge will pretty much do it.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to use it on your Commodore 64, you could use it on a PET, or you could use it on a VIC-20 or a Commodore 16. The cartridge doesn't plug in, so you power it, and then you telnet it over your PC and control it that way.
Use it as standalone. Yeah, you can use it without Commodore 64, without any machine, actually.
You can use it standalone.
Yeah.
How do you use a cartridge standalone?
It's got a power adapter. You just plug it inside of it.
Just use it as a what?
And then plug it in as a serial port into like your Commodore 16, and then you go on your PC and telnet across it and control the menus and stuff from the cartridge on your PC.
So what's it got inside it? A Raspberry Pi?
What's the X16 that Rudy just mentioned?
Mega 16. I'd go for Mega 65 rather than an X16.
What is an X16?
The X16 is that what?
The 8-bit guy.
8-bit guy.
Very practics involved with and stuff. It's a new 8-bit computer that they're making for people to buy and make games for.
I think the advantage of that is that it is more 8-bit than it is FPGA compared to the
right, okay.
So it is more old chips, and more similar vintage chips. I think it uses a Yamaha sound chip rather than something like a SID.
Yeah, something like that. And if I remember
correctly, X16,
and it's got slots.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
which I find interesting, because I immediately think, okay, well, what can I plug into that?
Yeah.
And what can I make that do? And then I see them coming out with a updated, revised version of it that takes half the slots out, and I think, well, yeah, stuff you and all.
They removed the slots, and I remember at the beginning that these slots were like a huge focus for them. It was huge. They really wanted lots of.
And the official case for it.
Yeah.
If you use the official case, you can't plug any cards into the slots because it's cuts it in half.
Wow.
Wait until US dollar tanks and it'll be better priced. Is that when Trump gets in?
But it's kind of an interesting machine, and it's a lot cheaper than the 65, and that sort of piques my interest and makes me think maybe I could afford to get one. If I save up a bit, whereas the 65 at 670 odd euros is.
To me, I lean the other way because I think the X16 there's hardly any games there's not to play on it because I play games.
Well, I don't care about games.
No, exactly. So that's good for you because that's what you want it for. Do you know what I mean? But for myself, it would be a Mega 65 because you can put other cars in it, like a Spectrum car on it or an Amiga car or stuff like that as well.
They do make some games for it, or it's more like demos or stuff like that.
I think there's some games for it, and there obviously is a lot of demo stuff, but it's like early days of the Spectrum Next.
Yeah.
There wasn't much for that.
All 8-bit guys games are
available for the platform.
Yeah.
But then it's his baby, it's his machine, it's his ecosystem.
Yes. Yeah.
But for all these things, I worry about the longevity of them.
Yeah.
So I mean, a Commodore 64, you've been able to buy them for 40 odd years. You will still be able to buy them to the extent that you can buy them now in 10 years, in 20 years. And they will be as good then as they are now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they need replacement chips. But will you still be able to get an X16? I doubt it. Will you still be able to get a Mega 65? I doubt it. Mega
65, definitely, yeah.
So many of these retro projects have basically come and gone, and they've done one production run, maybe two production runs. They've been very hard to get, and then they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at that and I think, well, what's the point? It's very nice. It's very nice for 100 or so people that managed to get one, but anybody else, it may as well not exist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And related to Commodore 64, it's not really the best machine out there, but the community is huge. The amount of software, games, everything, and exactly what you said, that machine is going to be exactly the same 20 years in the future. I will still be able to play our games and run our software, and I'm more to Commodore 64. I don't need new 8-bit machine. What I do with
Rudy says Speckies will be around for the next 100 years.
Only hold the door open because it's too warm.
I do like building kits though. Somebody comes out with a kit computer. There's a good chance that I'll say, okay, I'll give that a go and have a play with it.
Yeah.
Whether that kit would be available in 10 years time is another matter, but with reasonably open source, it is Anybody can take the Gerber files and do a production run or whatever.
Yeah.
When it's entirely sort of proprietary and behind closed doors, you're limited to what the developer gives you.
Yeah.
And how long the developer supports it.
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah.
Yeah,
I see that as a downside to quite a lot of new projects.
The only plus that I can see for that really is a bit like like Gideon's Ultimate full-blown motherboard, the U64.
Mm.
You can buy that complete replacement. I've got one of them, and I built it into a 64, and I put it to one side with all games on it and stuff. And that's what I'm going to play with in my retirement. And when I retire, I'll get rid of all my other real retro stuff, if you know what I mean, and just stick with that so I can run on my games and stuff like that. So if you wanted a Mega 65, because it's got cores on it, you can have your Spectrum on it, you can have your Amstrad on it if you want, you can have your 64 on it, you can have your 128s on it. So you can actually put all them systems onto one computer and have all the games built into it and still have that retro feel.
So it's like a Mister. It's like a Mister with a keyboard and a floppy drive.
Exactly. So where is the difference then? You have your any FPGA system, and then you just install.
Yeah. You see,
you could put a pen in it and do that, couldn't you?
Yeah, there is supposed to be a cheap Mister coming out in the $99 one. So they say.
Right.
That's nice.
Have you heard about that?
No.
No, it's coming out very soon. It's like a Mister, but a $99 one instead of like $300. Because the guys designing it said it should never have been $300. It's ridiculous. It's only because they've cornered the market, so that's why he's fetching out this other one. So it should be 100% compatible with all the other Mister add-ons and stuff. So it'll be good. I know Lee loves his Misters.
Yeah, he does.
So you can buy a Mister for $100. And compared to Mega 65, which is 600 and something.
Yeah.
Right?
But you're getting a keyboard and you're getting a floppy drive.
Refurbished floppy drive.
A nice case in a box.
I've got a shelf of refurbished floppy drives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm looking at about
that good old 1581.
That's foul language, is that now? How's yours doing anyway? Is it still working well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two decent working 1581s. Yeah.
Yep. Both mine are still running fine. Every time I plug them in, it does that thing.
I've got no working drive for my Commodore.
I press the directory button on it clears it. Job done. I don't know why, and then it's fine for ages. Weird.
I still got to do that 1541 that's in a box down here.
Get it put together.
I keep trying it. You test the chips for me. They're okay, aren't they? So I just need to change the sockets. I'll get round to it one day. You know what it's like. I've only just changed the top on it. Look.
So this keyboard's sorted out.
Yeah, I fixed the keyboard and I sorted the top. So it's getting there.
Nice.
Played Ghostbusters on it today. As you do.
You can't help it. It's just a go-to game, isn't it, Ghostbusters?
It is. I mean, it never fails you, doesn't it? Like I say.
Yeah.
It's what turned my mate from Spectrum to Commodore.
Because of the speech.
Yeah. I had a VIC-20 at the time, and he had a 48K Spectrum, so, okay. And he kept pushing me to get a 48K Spectrum. And I got one, and it broke down so many times, taking it back. And Mum got fed up, paid the extra, and said, "You're having a Commodore 64." So he'd giving me a load of grief at school. And then he come up to the house, and I put Ghostbusters on, and it screamed out Ghostbusters. And then he sold his 48K and got himself a 64.
Crazy. I was speaking of Spectrum. I was watching an old video, an interview with Sir Clive Sinclair, and they were interviewing him about the MSX coming out. And saying, you're not worried about the MSX because obviously the Japanese are getting together. You got Philips, all these other companies are joining together, making one computer. And he's going, I'm not particularly bothered, he says. the Japanese have been trying to beat the British computer industry for years and they can't do it. Now look at the things now. Different times, isn't it? And then they're questioning him about what's that Spectrum that came out that had loads of trouble. One of the last ones he fetched out. Can you remember? There's something about he'd fetched it out or something, and they're questioning, saying we've got some questions about it. I can't remember what it was called anyway. It's the last Spectrum he fetched out. And they're saying the RAM expansion. Sorry?
Were it a QL?
That was the one, yeah. And he said the first one.
Had them silly little data tapes.
The RAM expansion was outside the case or something. And he said, why are the new ones inside? He said that was design fault. He said, we're going to replace them. And then he's saying, why haven't you got any instructions? Some people are not getting instructions or getting half a book. He said, yeah, we're sorting that issue out as well. He was really funny because I remember another interview with him where he was going on about the 16K RAM expansions. People saying that if he touches the desk, it crashes. Do you remember? And he said, we worked out a bit of blue tack fixes that by putting blue tack in Sinclair. Do you know what I mean? So his interviews are great to watch.
But to be fair, back in the day, I mean, he did well to produce a little computer like that his capabilities, you know, he was aiming for 99 quid, wasn't he? Like, when they first came out, they come out with a lifetime guarantee, no quibble, take it back if you're not happy.
Exactly.
Money back guarantee.
He's saying at the time as well, the Spectrum was 10 times faster than the MSX, so he said, there's no worries for us, he says. Japanese were always trying to beat the British computer industry, and they never will. And I thought,
wow. How times have changed, like you say.
And saying that, we still got ARM processors, most processor in the world. Still has in it in Cambridge. So we still got something. So,
that came out from Acorn Computers.
That was the Micro guys, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The ARM processor was, and I think it's still in Cambridge. But I think it's owned by a Japanese company.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah,
I believe that these guys still work on the processors. They just sell licenses around the world.
Yeah, the license. Yeah.
Yes, it's something like that. I'm not.
Yeah, to be honest, the government should have bought that company. It'd have been quids in by now, wouldn't they?
Well, your phone would be basically an Acorn Archimedes.
Exactly, yeah, the RISC processor, which was designed on a BBC Micro, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
If I remember rightfully, yeah.
Who posted that picture in chat with that Amiga with the Amstrad colours?
That was me. I saw it and then instantly thought of Lee.
It looked okay, actually, didn't it? It looked all right, apart from the coloured keys.
I quite liked it. It was different.
Yeah,
Lee would hate it.
Well, if it ain't cream and looked like a Mega 65, it would do now.
Exactly, yeah. Shame didn't do an Amstrad themed Mega 65, innit? We should Photoshop one. Hey Lee, this is the new Mega 65 coming out. It's called Amega.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned that we were going to do something again with cars, didn't he? He said we're going to have a bit of a play around on that Mega 65.
He's going to have a go at programming the cores. He's going to try and learn how to do it, he says.
Yeah. That should be interesting.
Done some on Mister, if I remember rightly, but
to be honest, his video did very, very well. Yeah. I nearly bought one to get that many views. I thought, is it worth 10,000 views?
I never programmed the FPGAs. I'm really curious to see how that works out. I'm really looking forward to see those videos. So I really hope that he's going to take that direction, and I think that lots of people would like to see how the FPGAs are programmed and how everything is done, and how you actually create that core that you download from the internet, so you can do something by yourself, right? Or maybe if there is more open source cores, then you could download something and change something and then build it
Get it
and
run on the Mega.
run it on Mega 65. That would be really interesting to see.
If it's something that one guy can do in his shed or his back bedroom or something, then I think that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be. It should be, yeah.
I think he's going to get some good interest anyway on that Mega 65, because I mean there is a lot of people that's bought them, but you don't see that many people that's doing videos on them.
You don't, do you? No.
No. And I think that's why it's just taken off for him. I think last count were about 12,000 views or something.
That is really, really good.
Well,
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I think I'm doing if I get 12 views.
Sorry?
Yeah.
I think I'm doing well if I get 12 views.
No, you're not that bad. I think my best one's been about 2,500. I think that's it.
Yeah.
I was happy with that.
You've
had a good video, haven't you?
It can be anything. You can just all of a sudden. I mean, when I did the ARMSID comparisons, that shot up. That did really well. It didn't go up like that did, but it did look really well comparison to other stuff. So it's trying to track down and find out what the audience wants. Once you've got that, and you give it to them, they're going to watch. They're going to get more.
Or you grow 2 lumps, and then you can get
but
whatever you.
That Mega 65 video, maybe it got a lot of views simply because people are thinking the same thing that we are thinking. Will I buy this machine and what can I do with it? So they are mostly interesting to see. And there is not many videos, like you mentioned, Steve,
No, there isn't.
Mega 65. So, yeah, it makes sense. People want to see that machine in action and see what they can do on it.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're going to go and spend nearly it's
a huge price.
And on it, if you want to know what it can do first.
Yeah.
I'd like one just because of what it is. Be nice to have at least a prototype look-alike in collection.
It looks good. I will definitely give it that.
It looks well built.
Yeah. And I like that floppy built-in, the way how they mounted it. It's really nice. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's just a shame they didn't use PC floppy drives or something like that, a new one. Do you know what I mean? Instead of refurbished Amiga drives.
Why? Maybe there is a reason why they need to use.
You can't get them.
You can't get them.
Well, maybe they don't make PC drives anymore, but there must be a lot more PC drives out there that are new than Amiga drives.
Yeah, there's got to be boxes of them somewhere, aren't there?
Yeah.
Mitsumi ones or something.
I have a bunch of PC floppy drives. I never actually. I don't collect them. I just have them for some reason. So
well, if you get an PC, you pull them out, don't you? And just keep them.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you can get USB floppy drives for £7 or £8.
Yeah, I bought one, and when I took the disc out, it dragged the head out with the disc. Well, what the hell's this? I pulled it out. I could get the disc out, and I pulled it out a bit more, and the head came out with the disc. I thought, well, send that back to Amazon.
You need to pull it back in to return the head.
Well, eBay prices, it's cheaper to buy a new drive.
Exactly, that's what I did. Yeah, just threw it away. Found the Samsung one at work, and that works a bit better. But I had to go back in time to find a driver. That was the only thing with it. But now it works fine. That one. And I've got that grease weasel as well. That works.
I've seen floppy disks going for like 3 or 4, even £4.50 each.
Just exactly, they go for silly money now. Yeah,
they're incredibly expensive, and then 7 out of 10 of them won't work.
Exactly, yeah. That's what I've got. I've got them piled on there that work. Exactly.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that era when we built 4 A6s and 3 A6s, and when I watch your video, Neil, everything came up to me. Oh, that was really pain in the ass. You put everything together, and something is not compatible completely with some other card, and
different times, weren't they?
Yeah, and you can
Yeah.
lose hours and hours try to figure
Not like
it out.
today where you just press plug and play and everything works.
We're spoiled now, aren't we? Do you know what I mean?
Auto config, yeah, we're spoiled now, exactly. No
Yeah.
buses to set, nothing, no multiplayers, no DMAs, no IRQs, nothing. It's just
Nothing.
bang,
I don't
done.
miss it though.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the way the world's gone. It's gone easy.
Yeah, Rudy's just said about them floppy disks. Check for mole on them floppies because there's gonna be some there.
Yeah.
Do it all the time. You might get something that looks really good in your old stock or something like that, and you put it in and it doesn't read, and then nothing else reads after that. You stripping drive down and cleaning it if you have to.
I think I bought some discs off Amazon. I think they're called Aztec or something like that. Some weird name, but they worked.
Cool.
Yeah, but they weren't cheap. That's 16 quid or something.
And I know when I was testing that 1581, I bought a batch of 50 floppies.
Yeah.
And out of that 50 floppies, that's a tongue twister, 7 worked.
Yeah, these all worked that I had. These 3M ones.
Nice.
They were good.
3M.
On the Amstrad.
That's probably one reason why I tend to use my Pi 1541 or the SD to IEC, because you know it's going to work.
Yeah, exactly. That is one way. Yeah. Or obviously you've got the Go drives. What they called? What are those drives called?
Go drives, Amigas.
Yeah, not the Go drive. What's the
Go
first one? Hey,
GoTech.
that's it. GoTex maybe. I don't know what they're called. Yeah, they're apparently good to use. You can use them in PCs as well, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I never tried it in a PC, but I should have used that really and just plugged the USB in with the images. But
Yeah, because I'm just finding a floppy disk that works, yet alone the drive.
exactly. But me being me, and probably like you lot, you like to load stuff originally like you used to.
Oh yeah,
Floppy
We
disk.
do, but it's like the Commodore PC that I have. I'm still thinking about putting the GoTech into it.
Yeah. I mean,
Just
obviously,
because it's you trying to find IBM floppy disks these days, it's quite difficult.
yeah. I mean, we got the 1200 behind, like I say, and you got the same read that GoTech, that Go drive off Donomic is absolutely brilliant in it because it allows you to have your floppy drive as well. So you've still got the power of both there, which is really good.
And you can back it up to either as well.
Yeah, and you can just plug in USB straight away. You can download your ADF onto your desktop. I mean, I think it's great.
That's nice. Yeah.
That's why it gets used a lot. It is.
I mean the one thing that I don't like about GoTechs is that they are limited to using disk images. So you've got to basically burn a whole disk image onto it, or copy a whole disk image.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
And if you're doing something on your PC and you want to transfer a file across to your Amiga, you've got to convert it into
ADF.
an ADF, and that means I've got to copy it from my Mac to my PC and then do the bloody thing on the PC and then copy it back onto the Mac to put on the SD drive and then or USB drive and then send it across.
Yeah, it'd be handy if you could plug in a USB, wouldn't it? I know what you mean.
Yeah. It's what I really like about the Pi 1541 and the SD to IEC. It supports wild files. You can just throw a file onto the SD card and it will find it.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
And to me that is a huge advantage.
Definitely, yeah.
Makes life, at least it makes life so much easier, I think.
Yeah. I start working on my SD to IC device simply because I want to do. Let me try to show you. Well, I wanted to simplify things. I wanted to convert this. It's simple micro SD card.
Yeah.
Floppy drive. Like regular floppy drive, without any disk images, without anything.
Just a massive floppy drive.
Yes, exactly.
That'd be good. That would.
Yeah, because for and I wanted to build like cheap SD to IC device using just Arduino Uno or some similar platform. And the idea is just to use it to write programs in BASIC and store it on micro SD card. That's it. So like simple, the simplest possible. But that protocol is pretty weird, especially on Commodore 64. I mean, it's really weird. I still haven't got it completely. Once I do that, I will probably make a video about that.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's the one I use.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I've got.
What's that?
It's like a little mini Commodore 64.
Yeah.
Is that thing the same that I've never built?
They're quite good. It's very similar. Yeah, it does more.
Are they similar things, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you use that as like a mass storage?
Sort of.
Yeah.
The Pi 1541 is slightly different in that it's a emulator for a 1541 or a 1581. So it's cycle exact. It's got the ROMs on it.
Yeah.
You know, it will handle, I think, copy protection for copy protected
thing as
64
well.
files.
Yeah, it's a 1-to-1, I think. Is that a Wi-Fi jobby?
No, this is for
to Arduino. What they call it.
yeah, micro SD to take Arduino or whatever. That didn't work.
And the SD to IEC,
and that's what I use.
Is just an SD to IEC. It writes the protocol. It talks to the computer using the standard serial bus protocol, and Jiffy DOS as well. But it does not emulate the drive, so you can't do things on it that require specific cycle exact timing.
But it's fast.
And for someone like me, I don't care because you know.
Yep. I know what you mean because you don't load games.
Yeah.
For somebody like me, it's pretty much instant with Jiffy DOS.
So you don't play any games at all?
I didn't say that.
What game's your favourite?
I'm not a gamer. I play some Sims. Yeah, flight sim and train sim, I guess sometimes.
What about
the new latest Microsoft Flight Sim, Tim?
Yeah.
Awesome, isn't it? Absolutely awesome.
It's totally awesome. But then I've got a pilot's license, so you know I can fly a plane anyway.
Oh wow, nice. I didn't know that.
The flight sim before it, I think my uncle used to design and build all airports and upload them to websites so you could download them and bring them into your game and stuff like that. He used to do stuff like that with it.
That's how I actually got into 3D graphics. Because my day job is as a 3D graphics designer, and I got into that by designing airports for quite old version now of Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Cool.
He did really well, my uncle, because he's always played that flight sim for years and years and years. My auntie once got him a flying lesson, and he spoke to the instructor and he let him take off and he did all sorts of let him land it and everything. And he said to him, you know what? He says, if it wasn't for the amount of hours that you have to get your license, you'd pass it straight away. And that's just through training, through playing non-flight sims all the time. You know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's amazing technology.
You develop bad habits in flight sim, and they have to be trained out of you in the real world, because in flight sim, you know, you crash, you just bounce the plane and off you go again. In real life, it's a bit more serious than that.
Yeah, if we ever get Cobras and stuff like in Elite, I'll be okay because I can fly them.
I tried Elite many years ago and I got absolutely nowhere with it. I was
Elite Dangerous. I played a lot of Elite Dangerous. Played that when it first came out. I've still played a lot. I've got double Elite. I need to get my third one. That's it. It's finding time again. It's a lot of time, isn't it?
Yeah,
but I play that in VR. I play that. It's so much better.
I used to know the development manager of Elite Dangerous, but
Yeah,
yeah,
good. Good
I
game.
played that when it
I've
first
never
came
played
out.
it.
It did better than the other one. What was the other one that done by the Star Citizen? Done by the ones that did the Korafi. What was the Korafi games? Wing Commander games. That was that guy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't do that well. But the price of the ships, some of the ships were £2,500 in real money when it first came out.
Crazy.
Oh, and Jeff Crammond's Formula One I used to play back during the day.
I remember that, yeah.
Jeff Graham.
The big thick book.
Yeah, all the tracks.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I used to play Silent Service too. I used to like that a lot with the submarine.
Yeah,
Remember that
exactly.
one? It's a good game, that was. Sinking ships.
Played it on 64. I didn't play it on PC or but my mate did. He used to play it on PC.
Yeah.
Silent Service.
I played battleships with my dad, but that was on pencil and paper.
Electronic battleships.
Battle chess on Amiga were fun.
Definitely, yeah.
Queen used to come in and just slice front of him
Let
and
it come alive, yeah.
and things and stuff.
Exactly, it's really good.
So not long now before the Blackpool Expo.
No? Are you definitely going?
I'm going, yeah.
Yeah, tickets on sale.
They're on sale, are they?
I noticed the other day. 20 quid, I think, a day.
Yeah, I was just waiting to see what you were doing, whether you were definitely stopping over or not, or whether you were just going to go up for a day or not.
Yeah. Rudy's got a helicopter license next year, he says.
Has he?
And this year he's got his pilot license. Hopefully next year he gets his helicopter's license.
You should go and pick us all up. Should come and pick us all up, Rudy, and take us to Blackpool Expo in helicopter.
In Airwolf.
We could do.
Or Blue Thunder. Whisper mode.
That's it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's a shame Lee can't make it because he's got other plans, hasn't he?
It is. Everybody should go.
Helicopters are an obscenity against nature.
They're a bit weird, aren't they, helicopters? I always wonder how they stay up there.
Sheer bloody mindedness.
Yeah, I get that. It's crazy. Well, speaking of re-releases and stuff, I watched the first episode of that Time Bandits.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't rate it.
No. Trailer looked good.
Hey?
The trailer looked good.
Yeah, they can't rewrite a masterpiece like that, and I think they're going to do the same with the Goonies, doing a Goonies TV series as well. Same again, Disney, and I don't think it's going to hit off. I don't know.
I think that's going to be for more for kids, isn't it?
I think that's what it is. I don't know. I started to watch it, and I thought at the beginning it's okay. This is, and then I got further and further into it, and I thought, no, it's not for me. I didn't watch episode 2. Can't beat the classic.
I was going to watch it earlier in the week, but I haven't done it at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, let us know how it is. Like I
Original was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's one of the best films ever. That was. I remember picking it up on VHS and taking it home and watching it. I thought, oh my god, this film is so good.
Yeah.
Are they making the Goonies remake? Yeah.
No, they're doing a TV series.
TV series.
Making a film as well, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's supposed to be, but he's always been pie in the sky, you know. Year in, year out, you hear about it. Not seems to happen, but apparently they were supposed to be making it where they've all grown up now, and they're all going and hunting the ship because it sailed off at end of the other one, didn't it? So they're going to find out where it went to track it down.
Well, that would make
the gold.
Story.
That might be fun. I'd be interested to see what a 50-year-old Data has turned out like.
Yeah, so I think it'd be good, quite good that because he's taking it away from the original, isn't it? But giving you a continuation years down the line, so it's not going to spoil the original because there's too much of a time gap between it. I think, and I'm hoping.
Well, the worst thing would be if it's made by Disney, and then
which it will be.
They would just race swap and gender swap it, and
oh my God, yeah, and that could happen.
Like they've done little people swapping thingy.
Oh yeah.
You're not allowed to sell little people. You're putting labels on them.
Wow, that's what they are, aren't they?
Madness, isn't it? I mean, we all grew up in a time where they didn't have labels and stuff like that. You know what I mean? There was none of that. You know,
I agree,
when
yeah.
the
world's gone a bit crazy.
Yeah.
And nobody was offended by anything.
No, exactly. Yeah.
No,
and now everything is a problem. You cannot say anything anymore. There is always someone to be offended by.
Yeah.
If someone asks me what is my pronoun, I say 8 bits.
Identify as the Commodore 64.
I identify as 8-bit.
Me too.
Oh my God.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. You could say late for work then because you got no RTC clock, you got no battery in your computer, so you don't know what time it is. I don't think it would work though, but crazy.
Yeah.
Things will get better.
Oh yeah.
Gotta do.
We went from one side to the other. So where can we go further in this road? 60 degrees, whole circle.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Well, okay. Shall we wrap it up for tonight?
You seem talented. Yeah, you can do,
Yeah. So thank you everybody for joining this live show tonight, and see you next time.
Thanks.
Bye.
See ya.
See you next time.